Hello and welcome to Interface, a podcast that cares about technology. I'm James Farley, here with Matt Murray. Hello, Matt.
Is that a new tagline?
It is, yeah.
I'm loving that. I'm really good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. How's your week been?
It's been mostly fine. I've been quite ill at the back end of this week, which has totally ruined my training plans for the Great Enough Run, which I'm doing it'll be Sunday the 11th. So the last few days have been a write-off. So it's all going wrong right near the end of my training. But hopefully by next week I'll be fine.
How long have you been preparing for that?
A few months, and then now in this last the race is the 11th, which is as we're recording, it's a week tomorrow, and I haven't run since Tuesday. And if you take 5 days off, it takes like a week or so to get back into it. So next week I'll just hope to God I'm better and I can just run every day, because it's gonna be a nightmare otherwise. I don't really want to have trained for months and then I suddenly just balls it up right at the end.
Yeah, you see, I get that, because, I've taken several years off doing exercise and, it makes it impossible to get back into it. It's quite hard.
I've been running obviously fairly regularly the last few weeks and months, but honestly, you take more than 2 or 3 days off and you can totally feel it. If I run every day, I feel much better, much stronger, much faster, but yeah, if you take 5 days off, you feel like you have to learn how to run again, and it's awful. So anyway, I haven't done much running since Tuesday. Next week I'm going to just hope to God my body's back to full fitness and I can hammer it before Sunday's big half marathon.
What do you actually use when you're doing your running? Do you use any technology at all?
I use Strava, which is the running. I think it was primarily like a cycling based app, but they also have running. So yeah, so that records my map, my route, and my times and stuff. I basically wouldn't run half as much if it wasn't for Strava. But back at my previous place I used to work, like loads of us were on Strava. Loads of us were sort of, obviously everyone's recording times. You're trying to beat, your colleagues, run further in the week, run higher elevation, in the week. You have segments along your running courses, so that's like sections of the run where other people who run in the local area have also set a time. You're trying to beat their times. Yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for Strava, and it's a cheesy sort of word, but if it wasn't for the gamification of running, I probably wouldn't run half as much as I do now. Yeah, you see, I'd always wondered how much that actually works, because so you really have found that it actually works, the whole sort of. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, because I want to see, I want to see me improving times. I want to sort of, I want to get. You basically get a trophy if you get a personal best, or if you're in the top. If you get a time over a segment which is in your top 3 times. So yeah, I'm basically, I want to run to get more of these trophies, and yeah, it's just good. And then it's very much a social network. I follow loads of runners, they follow me, we like each other like each other's runs, we comment on each other's runs. So yeah, it's all about that really. And if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't run as much. It all sounds relentlessly positive. You don't. It has to be, yeah. Otherwise, you don't get you said, commenting on people's runs. You're not that was a shit run. Yes. No, that's mostly me myself saying this is bollocks. No, Matt, it's fine. You're at it. Keep going. You can do it. Actually, no. Honestly, it's mostly me saying I'm injured again. The amount of injuries I've had in this running, this training has been ridiculous. Maybe it's because I'm 33 now, but I've had stretched a muscle in my heel. I've got a dodgy knee. Oh God, it's bad. You're like the Daniel Sturridge of running. I'm the Jack Wilshere of running. So anyway, so you've been doing the running. So is this next week you do this? Yeah, Sunday the 11th, of September. Okay. So anyway, for me, nothing much has really happened. I did make another purchase, which was... You're insatiable. Someone needs to take your credit card away from you. Yeah, well, this is the last one. And also, the wife doesn't know about this yet until it turns up. So obviously last week you bought a PS4. Also, on last week's show you mentioned that you bought a PS4. Yeah. Finally. So what have you gone and bought this week? Well, the Sony madness has continued because I got a really good deal on a PlayStation Vita. Oh my God! Brilliant.
I mean,
What are you going to buy a Walkman or a media display next week?
I want to buy that gold Walkman. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, what is that about? What's Sony doing?
It's like 10 grand. It's like ridiculous, but yeah.
It also looks like it's from the 80s. It looks disgusting.
It does. It looks pretty terrible.
So you bought a Vita?
I did, yeah. And I mean, I'm still waiting for it to turn up. And apparently, see, it's funny because I got a good deal on the price. That was what I was most happy about. But I didn't even know which version it was, like whether it was the Slim or the original. But then it turns out that apparently it's the original. But then, yeah, you said that this is not so bad, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. But I had a Slim. So when I was weighing up which Vita to buy, because I had a Vita, I've since sold it, but I had one. You know, everyone on the forum, we both go on and said, just buy the original. It's got an incredible screen. Obviously, the newer one is slightly thinner, slightly lighter, slightly better battery life. And I thought, well, if I'm going to take it anywhere, I'll probably take it traveling or commuting and stuff, so I'll have the battery life. But I don't think it's an issue at all, the fact you've got the older one, because everyone says the screen is mind-blowingly good. And the Slim is only very much slightly thinner. It's pretty much the same machine. Yeah, so I think, and you obviously paid way less than I did for mine, so I think getting the original one is a good shout.
Yeah, I mean, for the price, I was happy with it, because I just think, I mean, to be honest, the real reason I want it is for remote play. That's what I want it for. Just
to make it less conspicuous when you're in your university or when you're at work with a gamepad next to your laptop.
No, I won't be doing that again. That was terrible. But no, it's because the thing is I really love the Wii U's off-screen play. Like, it's one of the things that actually is really good about the machine because of the kids being around and everything. And I'm really hoping that this is going to give me like the same experience, but with the PS4. This is what I'm hoping for. I mean, did you use it much through remote play?
Yeah, I used it a bit. Actually, when I went down to my parents' house, I played. I think I actually did some Destiny Patrol missions on the Vita, playing my PS4 back at home. Yeah, when I was down south visiting my parents. I think I also played The Witness, which is cool because the less sort of latency intensive games, I find like The Witness is just a puzzle game. Destiny Patrol missions, I was just like, it wasn't very, very hectic, so it was fine. I wouldn't want to play something like Bayonetta. I know, and that's not on the system, but I wouldn't want to play something really, really intensive because I don't think that would work as well. But yeah, I think the slower games, I think it'd be fine. No Man's Sky, for instance, would probably be perfect. Yeah, I mean, No Man's Sky played a lot over remote play, like on Mac, so yeah, I'm hoping it's for stuff like that. But no, I just want to try it and see what it's like, because it looks nice. I mean, the machine itself looks really good. Yeah, it's brilliant. I guess the only issue is that you obviously haven't had months and months of PlayStation Plus downloads, have you?
Yeah, see, that's why I'm using this mostly for remote play, I think, because I don't think I'm going to actually get a lot of Vita content. But there is, I've also heard there's loads of those like sort of like adventure games on there, which I really like. Like sort of,
tons, yeah.
And yeah, I can get into those.
It's also really worth looking on eBay for like these voucher codes. Basically, when I bought my machine, I sold mine came with like a voucher code for like five downloadable games, which I didn't want, so I just sold the one single code. There's probably loads of them floating around on eBay of like collections of games which came with people's Vitas they didn't want. Yeah, the difference for me, because I had been like a PS4 owner for a couple of years, and I'd had PlayStation Plus for ages. So I had like tons and tons and tons of Vita games that I just downloaded. I actually bought a 64 gig cartridge, which costs like 70 quid or something ridiculous. But it was worth it because I basically had like 30, 40 games on my Vita. When I eventually sold it, the guy had to check the port we actually put the physical games in, and I'd never actually seen that port. Because I didn't actually know where you put physical games in. I basically just primarily used it to download PS Plus games onto the cartridge. So yeah, apparently there's a place to put physical games in it, but I didn't use it that way.
I hadn't even thought about like physical games really. I was just looking at the download store all the time. I guess it's just it's the way you start to think about things around really.
Yeah, so if there are any carts you want, I'm sure you can pick them up for like 50p on eBay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. All right. Well, anyway, let's move on,
anyway,
because
this is going to be a huge show.
Yeah, there's too much for us to talk about, so we should probably get onto it. I mean, okay, so basically next week we've got the Apple event on September the 7th.
And it will be this week when this show comes out. This show is hopefully coming out on Monday. That'll be Monday the 5th. So yeah, in 2 days' time, it will be Apple's September event.
So we've got that, and then we've also got like the PlayStation meeting as well. Like pretty much, it seems to be like directly after, isn't it?
Yeah,
around
so
that sort of time?
I think I guess at least UK time, the Apple event is 6 p.m. and I believe the Sony thing is 9:30 in the evening. Yeah, busy all day.
What we'll do is first of all, I want to see what you think we're going to see. Yeah, what do you think? I mean, what do you think we're actually going to see here? I mean, I'm talking like device-wise and everything.
I mean, I think device-wise, we're obviously going to see a phone. There hasn't been a lot of Apple Watch leaks, but I think they probably will show off new Apple Watch. The laptops, probably not. That's going to be October. I don't think we'll see iPads.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really, it's just iPhone and Apple Watch. Is that it? I mean, obviously last year's September event was crazy. They showed like tons of stuff, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And that show went on for hours. But yeah, I mean, think about it now. That doesn't seem like it's going to be a very, very long show.
Mm-hmm.
If they're just going to show off a slightly redesigned iPhone, and we'll obviously get into that in a minute, but if they show off a slightly redesigned iPhone with some potentially controversial features that they probably won't want to spend a lot of time talking about,
mm-hmm.
and maybe a slightly redesigned Apple Watch, that doesn't seem like a massive show. But that's all I can see they're going to show hardware-wise, unless they do actually unveil unless they do actually announce the laptops, but they're not actually on sale for a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, even though I'm confused with my own answer, iPhone and Apple Watch?
Yeah, you see...
Question mark?
Yeah, I was looking at this and I was just thinking, going on what the leaks have been, what we've seen already, I kind of think that that's what we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see there's not going to be any Macs at this event. We're not going to see that. I don't think we're going to see Apple TV or iPads or anything like that. And I think it's going to be quite a focused event. I don't think they're going to show like a huge amount. I think it is just going to be iPhone and the watch. But I think there'll also be a focus on software as well. Because I think they're going to want to show, what this new phone can do with iOS 10 that you can't do, with the older versions.
I guess. I mean, so obviously historically, what they do is that I think that they've gone through the 10 points of Sierra or iOS 10, and they'll quickly, at least last year's show was so jam-packed that they just quickly rattled through that, and that was it. I mean, do you see there being a lot of exclusive we're obviously going to get through each, the rumours for each of the devices shortly, but do you see there being a lot of iPhone 7 exclusive features in iOS 10? Yeah,
because I reckon there's going to be a lot of the 3D touch stuff that's going to be like a big deal.
Yeah, I guess, but they typically have like a feature or two, which is in the OS, which is exclusive to a new device. But I can't see them showing a lot of that, and we've already seen tons of iOS 10 and seen lots of Sierra stuff.
Yeah, and also,
do you really see them dedicating a lot of time to that? It feels like it could be quite a weak show if that's the case.
Well, it might be. I mean, I don't think they're going to dedicate a lot of time to it, but I think there will be, because I think there may be something related to the headphone jack thing. With the lightning with the AirPods and stuff like that. Maybe
there is also rumours about an increased or an improved 3D touch sensor. So you're possibly right.
Well, okay, let's have a look at the rumours that we've got, because there is like a ton. If we go through the iPhone first, I mean, obviously the big one to begin with is the no headphone jack, which seems to be really sort of nailed on now.
Yeah, that's a given now, isn't it?
What do you think about this? Because, I mean, we've talked about this before, and, kind of sort of, I don't know, I kind of felt that we were a bit sort of lukewarm about this before. This sort of because we both use, Bluetooth headphones, but does it matter?
I mean, this is, obviously Apple have played this so well. This is clearly a controlled leak months ago, to the point now where everyone who's, either in tech circles or fans of tech or this, that, and the other, I think a lot of people just resigned to it and almost bored of it, and just, it's just the way it is. So whereas if it was a total secret and it was dropped on everyone like a bomb at the actual conference, people will be open mouthed and won't believe it. But the fact it was leaked and mentioned and sort of almost common knowledge months ago means that right now it is what it is, and I'll just have to get over it. I mean, I've said on this show before, like headphones are like one of my most treasured possessions. I have a pair of headphones in my bag or my pocket at all times, no matter where I am. Even when I'm running with my Bluetooth headphones, I've got a pair of wired headphones, in my back pocket. In my literal back pocket, just in case the Bluetooth ones go wrong, or whatever. I've got to have a pair on me at all times in case there's 5 minutes so I can listen to a podcast, or you need to listen to music or something. So I should be the one person that, I should be one of the people who would be most pissed off about this decision. But honestly, I'm not. I mean, so we'll go into, the rumor is that basically they're going to package in some lightning earpods, and also potentially a 3.5mm jack adapter in the box, so you can use your existing headphones or you can use the new sort of lightning headphones. I mean, I've got a 6S Plus now, and I haven't had a moment in the last, since I've got it, where I've been charging and listening to music at the same time. With my old 6 and 5S and all that sort of stuff, I had a lot of moments where I was charging and listening to music at the same time. But this, I just, I haven't really been doing that because the battery is really, really good. Obviously, there are moments where that's going to happen. That's good. That's going to piss me off, but. I mean, right now it doesn't bother me, and I'm quite looking forward to the fallout and seeing what everyone's going to say when it does eventually happen on Wednesday.
I'm still hoping that they're going to do the thing where they'll be like, there is a headphone jack here.
That would be amazing.
And then they just say, why would you remove that? That'd be crazy. Because they've never come out and actually said that they were going to do this, and it's like it'd be really funny, but yeah, it's not going to happen. But I don't know. I mean, the thing is the idea of the lightning earpods. I mean, I'm a bit concerned about that because I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that cable, because the lightning cables are terrible, like in the sense of durability. And with headphones, they're getting they get ripped around all the time, and moved around, and they're going to break very easily. I don't see how that's going to work.
Yeah, it is basically like the combination of both of them is going to be a total disaster, because although lightning cables I haven't had one break for ages. What would normally happen in the mornings, my daughter would wake up. She's like 2.5 years old. She'll wake up, she'll come to our room, and my wife would already be up, like making a bottle or whatever it is. And she'll get into our bed and basically get my wife's iPhone 5C, rip it out of the lightning cable, and then pass over to me so I can get YouTube on and stuff. And basically my wife's lightning cable is absolutely torn to shreds with my daughter ripping the cable out non-stop. It's absolutely, whereas mine's in pristine condition. So lightning cables, I know if you're rough with them, they are going to break. Also, Apple headphones, when I get a new phone, I typically just use some headphones I've already got, as opposed to using the brand new headphones that come with the device. But over the course of the year, the headphones I currently have might break, and I'll have to just suddenly nip upstairs and grab the AirPods that come with the actual phone I've currently got. And I did that this year, and they basically died within about 3 months. I mean, really? I went back to the store and got a replacement, but because it's within the first year warranty. But the Apple AirPods, they're basically fucked up. Like one ear stopped working within next to no time. So the combination of that plus lightning cable does not bode well at all.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, when I lived in Shanghai, I used to go through a pair of earpods about every 2 months, and that was mostly because they would become very quiet after a time, because I used to use them on the subway, obviously, and because it was so loud from people, I had it up at seriously just maximum volume all the time, because otherwise you just can't hear anything, and it just seemed to wear them out really quickly. And so it's every 2 months I was getting new ones, but the Apple Store paid for that, so it was fine. But I don't know. But then, I mean, there's this idea about these AirPods seem to be happening as well, don't they? That seems to be a thing.
AirPods, yeah. I mean, and there was also there was a faked. Well, there's a shot of the back of a box, which is now clearly fake, which showed. It's fake. I don't know why we're discussing it, but we'll discuss it anyway. But yeah, AirPods, which people are rumored. It's rumored that Apple releases wireless versions of the AirPods called AirPods. They won't even have a cable beneath the two sort of headphone devices.
Yeah, that makes no sense. That makes
it's
zero
just
sense.
Two loose things to lose.
There's no way that they're going to do that, especially the picture they were like tiny as well. There's like they look like cufflinks. There's no way that that they're going to do that.
Yeah, but what if there's like a really strong magnet or something in them, so they just stick together when they're not in use?
Yeah, but you're still going to lose them.
Yeah, you are totally. But yeah, so the rumour is that Apple, as well as banging in these the pack-in earpods, which are lightning cable, they also sell these wireless AirPods, and this fake box shot that was leaked or shown over the weekend that said that those are actually getting packed in with some devices. Again, it was a fake. I don't know why I'm discussing it, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. But I mean, they're clearly going to do this. They're going to have to. They're going to do that. Yeah, there's going to be. It's pretty clear there's going to be AirPods, but how are they? I mean, if they don't pack them in, no one's going to buy them. Seriously. I mean, if they're like, imagine if they don't pack them in and they're like £60, who's going to pay that? For like. No, people will definitely.
I don't know. I think they have to be.
If it isn't £60 good, isn't it? I mean, so I've got these shitty like £15 white Bluetooth headphones. They're obviously crap, I guess, to most other standards, but they do a job, so I'm happy. But aren't like the ones you've got, the Beats, whatever they're called, like Power Beats 2, aren't they like 120, 140 quid?
They're 140 quid, but I wouldn't have bought them. Like, I only had them because I got them for free, but I wouldn't have paid...
I know that, but if Apple sell like AirPods for 60 quid, then that doesn't seem so bad.
Still too expensive. It's still way too much.
It's too expensive for mainstream adoption. And the biggest issue with this actually isn't the fact that they could be 60 quid or you might lose them if there's no cable between them. It's the fact that if Apple pack these white Bluetooth headphones in, one, that's going to like dramatically increase the rate of adoption for Bluetooth headphones in general, but also it says you don't have to worry about the fact there's no headphone jack anymore, because we've got you got some Bluetooth headphones now. You can live. This is how people listen to music now. People love their Bluetooth headphones if they got a good quality pair. Here's a pair inside. It also doesn't mean that people are suddenly like, hang on, I literally have to unplug my headphones if I want to charge. It like takes away that part of the conversation because you've got Bluetooth ones. So it feels like, I mean, I guess financially it makes much more sense just to change their existing wired ones and bang in a lightning thing on the end. I can see that, but it would be amazing if they said, here's just some bundled in Bluetooth headphones, but I can't see it happening.
Okay, so you can't see that happening, but I don't know. I still think like if they were like north of £50 and they're also basically just earpods with Bluetooth, they're going to have to be a lot better than that if people are actually going to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of the rumours we've got listed here, and I haven't really seen much of it recently or in recent weeks, but I'm sure there's a rumour about Apple potentially using a different sort of Bluetooth standard or another connectivity standard or protocol that would mean that they're much more, that whatever, if they're connecting via like Bluetooth 5 or a new wireless protocol, whatever it was, it'll be much more reliable than current Bluetooth headphones, better in some way, potentially, less latency, who knows. So if Apple have developed their own or they're using the latest in Bluetooth technology, maybe these things will be much more improved compared to existing headphones out currently.
See, I really think this is going to be potentially the most interesting part of the whole thing. Definitely. How they're going to sell this. Because it's just, I don't know, I'm very curious to see how they're going to do it. Because if it is just a pair of like cheap lightning cable headphones in a box, maybe they'll do like maybe the Plus will have like the AirPods or something like that.
I'm obviously, I love every Apple conference, but this one's going to be particularly interesting. But for me, it's less about the devices, more just how are they going to spin this? What are they going to say? What are their reasons? Are they going to talk about this lack of headphone port loads? Are they going to go into detail about why they've made a big change? Are they going to gloss over it? Are they even going to mention it?
I mean, has the Pro model like idea, is that completely dead now?
It seems like it is, yeah. I mean, again, what rumours we haven't listed here, but so there was a Pro model rumour or, leak shots, whatever they were, that hasn't had much traction recently. Also, one of the earlier leaked models / cases, whatever it is, that showed smart connectors, that rumour's sort of gone. We haven't really seen much in the way of the idea of the Plus model having smart connectors for potential keyboard connectivity, so that's also gone. But yeah, it feels like right now it's just really the standard 7 or the Plus.
From all the rumours so far, it seems that there's the same design as the current phone as well. Like, they're just going to move the antenna lines, and that's about it. What do you think about that? Because I've got the 6 Plus, and I think it's all right. I mean, it's a nice, reasonably looking phone. I've recently ditched having a case on it because it just, I don't know, feels nicer. But I still don't think it's an amazing design, like compared with other things.
I think it's probably the best looking. Oh no, okay. I think we've been over this. Yeah, it's probably the 4 or the 5. Actually, I prefer looks wise. I think it's a great looking phone, but without the case, it's just way too slippery. And I think it probably is a bit too thin, in all honesty. But I have mine in a case, and it's fine, and I can pick it up, and I don't drop it. I think the fact it's the same design as the 6 and 6S is a bit of a blow. I mean, the antenna lines don't really bother me because I have mine in a case all the time, so I don't really notice them. No doubt this one will be slightly thinner or slightly different, so they can sell new cases.
It's one of those things. It's definitely going to be thinner. It's going to be like, we've made this as thin as a ruler. And it's
but I don't care. Or we made this thinner because we removed the headphone port. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, the same design is disappointing, but again, this is all because they're going to save the big changes for next year's phone, for the 10th anniversary, definitely.
Okay, so then we've also got, it looks like, dual lens rear camera on the 7 Plus.
Yeah, this is another interesting differentiation this year. So again, the rumours suggest that the 7 will have obviously an improved enhanced camera, like they do every year, but this year the Plus is actually much more different in that it's going to have a dual camera system. It's not just going to have basically the same cameras as the smaller model. It will have a different camera system. The dual camera system is meant to be better for low light situations. It also offers a sort of artificial optical zoom, whereby one of the cameras is slightly more, or it's more zoomed in than the other one, and it basically allows you to zoom in without changing the quality of the image. So optical zoom versus digital zoom. There's probably some other great features as well, but those are the 2 key ones, I believe.
But this isn't the first time they've differentiated the camera either, is it? Because the 6 and the 6 Plus, like the 6 Plus had a better camera, didn't it? There was like...
I know it had optical image stabilization, but it didn't actually have a much better... Oh yeah, it did actually, yeah.
Because I remember having an anguished conversation with you over the phone about which one you were going to get. Because you really wanted the one with the better camera, but you didn't want to pay more, and you also didn't want it to be so big. Yeah.
And how times have changed.
Yeah. We'll love the big phones. I would probably
get a bigger phone if they announce that.
See, I also remember, like, you and also David laughing about the... Because when I lived in China, everyone had those, like, Galaxy Notes when they first came out, and they were massive.
Yeah.
And we all laughed at them.
When I went to Hong Kong, and then everyone had those huge phones. Like, what is wrong with everyone? Why is everyone... Everyone had, like, the huge Galaxy phones. Everyone's case was also their wallet.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But then also, I mean, one of the other differentiators, it seems, is that the 7 Plus, they reckon, is going to have like 3 gig of RAM rather than 2, and that is for the camera, isn't it? That's like, it's to support this new dual lens camera. Yeah,
pretty cool. And I guess that's also going to allow for more apps in memory and faster. I guess generally faster device, which would be awesome. I mean, I want them to differentiate the plus from the regular smaller model. I also want the iOS to be slightly different. I think they could do way more than what they have done up to now with the Plus compared to the smaller model in terms of the OS. Definitely, I feel like they should do way more split screen stuff. I think they should change more apps. I think because it's not really making a huge deal of the extra screen size. I think they could do a lot more.
I mean, do you really care about the camera stuff? Because the thing is I mean, I obviously like the camera that I've got with the 6 Plus, and obviously something a bit nicer would be good. But is it like a real selling point now? Is it like a big deal?
No, because for me, no, I mean, no, because the cameras are just generally great anyway. We got to a point now where just phone cameras are just brilliant regardless, so the changes are becoming much more incremental. I mean, this whole dual camera system is interesting. If one gives like a wide angle, or it helps with this sort of artificial digital optical zoom, that sounds great. But no, I mean, cameras aren't really a huge thing for me anymore. Again, I take pictures every day of my daughter and family and for Instagram and stuff, and it's great, but it's not like the be all and end all, just because they've just been so consistently good for so long now.
Okay, but then we come on to the stuff that I think is important. I mean, obviously the camera is kind of important, but this is bigger, I think, which is the storage capability, like what it's going to have.
This is the thing that's going to piss me off the most, I think.
Why? This is good.
Okay, so the rumours are that they're going to change from currently the capacities are 16 gig for the base one, 64 up to 128. The rumours are they're going to go 32, 128 and 256. So they're going to ditch 64. Start at 32, so a lot of people will be happy that the base isn't 16, because everyone says the base of 16 gig is not enough, blah, blah, blah. And the really hardcore pros will be loving the 256 for the largest capacity model. But right, so I used to have a 32 gig iPhone, that was fine. Now I've got 64 gig iPhone because I'm not a monster with a 16 gig one. So I'm happy with 64, but basically they're not going to release a 128 this year for the same price as last year's 64 gig.
They might do.
No way.
They might do.
I mean, yeah, it'd be amazing if they did. I can't see it. There'll probably be some like post-Brexit, tax or something on it. So basically what I'm saying is, I would have loved to have got 64 gig, but no, I have to get 128 because 32 is not enough, and 128 will cost more than last year's 64. So this is all about Apple increasing the ASP, the average selling price, per device.
Mm-hmm.
All the people like me who are like, 64 gigs fine, clearly we're all going to go to 128, and I would assume that the 128 will be slightly more than last year's 64 gig. I guarantee it.
See, before
that sort of does my head in.
See, I've also got 64 gig, and when I first look at this, you see, I think 32. I could live with that. That's not too bad. I lived with a 16 gig phone for a long time. It was awful, but I managed it. And think double that. It's not too bad. But then I was just looking at my phone storage, and I've only got like 4 gig free, and I don't know where all that stuff's gone. Like, I don't actually know what I've got installed, but I don't know. I see what you mean, though. I mean, do you really think they're going to increase it, like the price? I wouldn't be surprised. Well, the next room we'll come on to, which is the colours, I think they're definitely good with that. But I just feel like they probably. I would not be surprised if even if they bumped 128 up by like a 10 or more than last year's 64 gig. That's enough to make like like an extra billion or two, whatever. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if they did that. And then they can blame things like Brexit and. Seriously, I would not be surprised at all if that 128 is slightly more than last year's 64 gig. Speaking about storage, I mean, so when the rumours from a few weeks ago said that it was going to be 32 gig for the base one, I thought I'd see if I can live with a 32 gig phone. So I deleted all my inessential apps, deleted loads of stuff, see if I could do it, and I basically couldn't do it. I still need an extra like 5 or 10 gig, so I couldn't go down to 32 gig even if I tried now. So mostly because I've got like 20 gig of photos. Okay. Yeah, but hang on, don't you just use the optimised storage?
I do.
So how does that work then? Because I use that and it's not that big. I'm just having a look at the moment.
I've got 19.1 gig in my photo library. I don't know, and I've got optimised storage. So
that's
I've
crazy.
got a lot of iPhoto stuff. I don't know.
Weird.
Anyway, yeah. So these storage options sound good, but I have a feeling they're going to do us over. But we'll see.
Okay, so then also, as you just alluded to, we've got the 5 colour options, apparently. So they're going to have the usual, like the silver, gold, rose gold. But then also, apparently, space grey is on the way out, and it's going to be replaced by dark black. Yeah. Which is, I don't know, it doesn't sound as good.
No, it just means the pictures today, they're making, dark black, it looks fantastic. But the other one is...
the piano black.
Piano black, which is another slight bugbear. Because I think they're good. So piano black. The rumor is that's a glossy black. And I've talked to a few people today. They suggest that this will be a bit like the black Apple Watch steel. The one that's even more expensive than the steel one. And they think that maybe like this piano black will be sort of limited to like the 256 7 Plus. So. That basically the absolute top of the range model. You can also get this, and it'll be even more expensive for that reason. Mm-hmm. So and this is going to have it's going to have that DLC coating that I think a couple of iPhones ago had. So yeah, I think if I wanted a piano black iPhone, I think that'll cost even more money than like one of the standard color sets does. Mm-hmm. So that's also a bit annoying, isn't it? So I might have to go darker black.
I kind of wish that they had some more colours, to be honest, because these are some of these are starting to feel a bit tired now. You know,
one of the early rumours was they were going to do a blue one, which I would have been really tempted with.
Mm-hmm.
But that rumour appears to have sort of calmed down now. But which colour would you go for? Would you not?
I probably would go for the piano black, to be honest, because it sounds awesome. It's like this. I like the idea of a glossy finish as well, because it reminds me a little bit of my first iPhone which was the 3GS, which was kind of like, okay, it wasn't piano black, totally, but it was like still sort of like glossy back and everything. It was nice.
Yeah, I think I'll go for one of the black ones. We'll see how much extra, if indeed piano black is extra. We'll see how much extra it is, but yeah, I'll definitely go for one of the black ones. I'm not gonna go gold again, and I'm not gonna get a silver phone. So yeah, it's dark black all the way.
What would it take for you to be, for you to get a gold phone again?
I've done that. I've had my year with a gold phone. It worked, but no. I also tried. Yeah, it was a white one as well. So I did both in 1 year. But I'm happy with a black phone, and I'll piano black if it depends how much extra it is for me.
I think you should go gold. I really do.
Nah, maybe I'll go gold for iPhone 8.
I really think you should have gone gold and then also gone for the matching gold MacBook Pro, which is inevitably going to happen.
Oh God, yeah, that would be good. Well, I guess we'll see in November 2000 and never when they eventually do release new MacBook Pros.
Okay. So then also we've got what they're going to do with the home button, because there's rumours it's going to be this sort of pressure sensitive, like clickless home button. I guess this is a bit like like the trackpad on that
on the
uses
laptops,
which is really good. I mean, I've got one that does that, and it really feels like just a regular trackpad, even though it's not.
But is that good? Like, what is? I mean, I know like technology wise, it's very clever and all that sort of stuff. But what's the benefit other than it feels like it's really clicking?
I think it's like less moving parts. There's less things can go wrong. I think that's kind of what they argue. But I mean, the point with this is it's supposed to be for the water resistance that we're about to come to, and that this can sort of help that. I
mean, I can see that. I mean, that sounds good. I think the iPhone currently is waterproof. It's not quite. It's an IPX whatever. It's not quite officially waterproof, but it does have some water resistance, like the current one, and I know the watch does as well. So yeah, a full waterproof phone would be awesome. This clickless home button. Yeah, I mean, again, this is a move towards the fact that they'll almost certainly remove the home button in next year's iPhone. Probably, and that's been on the cards for a while, that rumour. So,
thing is though with that is that's not such a bad thing either. I mean, did you have like those home buttons like failing at all? Did you ever get that?
I haven't done for a couple of phones, but I have had in the past. Yeah, I mean, maybe my 4 was dodgy and 5. Yeah.
I think they seem to have fixed it a bit, because I don't seem to have that problem anymore. But it did seem to be a thing. I mean, when I lived over in Asia, everybody that I knew who was like Asian, they all used that like how you can have like an on-screen like home button and everything.
I see that loads actually now.
Yeah, they loved that. They were all using that because they all had this idea that if you touched the home button, it would break. And so they were all using like the on-screen, like one of the accessibility one, and it looks awful. It looks terrible, and it also like if you went into like the Apple store over there, like there's loads of them, and they all had like that switched on as well as like a feature. It's just really strange. Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, I see people on the train with that on, and I think I might have used it ages ago when my home button stopped working on my 4.
But it's a tool of last resort. It's not something you just switch on, like to use in general.
Do you also remember that trick? What it was like that it's a trick you can do basically to like recalibrate your home button. You would like go into an app, you would hold down you go into an app and like almost close it and hold down the home button or whatever, and it would sort of quit apps and also recalibrate your home button and make it better. It's one of those like 10 tips to make your iPhone faster sort of things back in iPhone 4 and iPhone 5 days. Yeah, I was always doing that, but the a pressure sensitive clickless home button sounds good. I guess we'll see. And if it aids water resistance, which we're about to talk to, that sounds good too. Yeah,
the water resistance would be quite useful. I mean, I've lost one phone to that, and you've lost one as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I walked into the sea with it. So it would definitely be handy to have it waterproof, and just like easier when I might take it to the bathroom when I'm about to have a shower, and I'm like, worry, about, I have to turn it like face down and put it into a slipper, so so no steam gets into it. And also, if I'm like washing up, and I worry about dropping into the washing up and stuff.
Yeah.
So water resistant, and Samsung have had it for like two or three generations now on their Samsung. They're sort of on their big S devices. So yeah, we definitely need it.
Yeah, but their phones also explode. There
is that. Yeah. Oh God, I mean, the Note 7's got such incredible reviews, and watching a review on The Verge, it does look like a class phone. But then, this whole like global recall of all their Note 7s because of exploding batteries is bad, especially the timing.
I'll tell you what's quite funny about that as well is that they're not recalling it in China apparently. Like the same model, it's not going to get recalled. Now, I've been told that the reason for this is that actually because they used a different battery for like release over there. But a lot of my friends that actually have this phone are absolutely incensed, and they just think it's some plot that it's like everyone else is being treated like well apart from China. Yeah, it's just like this whole thing. It's like they're really angry. They're all just like everyone's like, I want to get rid of this phone. I hate Samsung and this kind of stuff.
I bet they do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, so we've got that. Then we've got some. Now, this is quite interesting because it's this idea of the iPad Pro has like stereo speakers. Like it's got it's got like 4 of them around. There was rumours that the phone was going to have this as well, but looking at like the designs, it doesn't appear to have 4 speakers. But according to this, the earpiece receiver is going to become a speaker as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean. That could be brilliant. Obviously, if you're watching, something on your phone, like a video on YouTube, and watching in landscape, the fact that you can have speakers both ends, but one of those speakers actually was the earpiece is brilliant. I love to see it because also one of the weird things is, again, a lot of these are leaked cases and sort of leaked schematics or leaked sort of chassis of the new iPhone. They all show. Obviously, where once the headphone port was a line of like 4 dots, which people assume was like double speakers at the bottom, but people actually say that no, one isn't actually a speaker. That's actually going to be like improved force 3D touch sensors, which I think we might get to actually towards the end. But yeah, adding another speaker in this phone would be great, and if they can do it through the earpiece, that's really clever, and I'll be quite interested to see how that sounds.
It's good, but then also, okay, I've got to bring the negative spin to this. How often do you ever use like a speaker to like listen to stuff? Because I rarely ever do. It's mostly just headphones.
No, I mean at home I use it tons. Yeah, if I'm watching something in bed, or if I'm because with the 6S Plus I've got, the screen's so good that I'm using it way more to watch YouTube stuff at home, whereas before on my phone I'll typically go to like my laptop or something else. But no, I'm watching tons of stuff on it, so no, this is great for me.
Yeah, it's a good solution. I mean, the speakers on the iPad Pro are great. Like it does sound good.
Yeah, I don't think it would quite be that because aren't the speakers like? Yeah, the speakers on the iPad Pro are great. So I was thinking in my head that aren't the speakers like half the device, but that's actually the battery, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The iPad Pro, yeah. Sorry, forgive me.
Okay, so then we've also got a new A10 chip. So this is going to top out at 4.5 gigahertz. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, brilliant. I want a faster phone. That'd be great.
Yeah. They do this every year though. It's like, look at this graph. Look how much faster this is. Compared with an iPhone 3G. It's like that kind of stuff.
Speaking of this extra chip and also the extra RAM, and this isn't one of the rumours, but and I'll definitely it's on our list to discuss. But do you think they're going to do more? Do you think they're going to allow split screen apps on the Plus model like they've got on the iPads?
No, I don't think they will.
I know obviously you can do it in the latest version of Android. You can obviously do it on the latest Samsung S7 devices. I know the screen isn't massive. Obviously some people think it is, but it's not iPad size. But I would happily give it a go. I'd love to see like a split screen apps on the Plus. I think they can do it. Do
you think it'd be comfortable? I mean, obviously in landscape mode, I'm just having a look at like what Safari would look like. I don't know.
I'm thinking more for like things like Tweetbot, and yeah, I'd like to give it a go. I just wondered if you thought, with the extra RAM, extra sort of graphical grunt and stuff, could they do it with no issues, or is it really just a case of they don't think 2 apps side by side would work on a device that small?
It's possible, and in fact, actually, the more I think about it, the more they could do this, because this could be one of those like iOS 10 like differentiator things. It's like this only works on the new phones because they've got the better.
Well, when I first got the Plus, I was really disappointed that more of them didn't do that. Mm-hmm. It's really annoying. Okay, also on Nougat or Nugget, however you want to pronounce it, the new version of Android, that you can have split screen apps there, but it's not just when the phone's in landscapes, when it's in portrait as well. So you can have the top half or bottom half showing different apps. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I like to think they'll give it a go, but we'll see.
I know, yeah. I could see them doing that, especially as like a differentiating feature of like saying like, you can do that if you've got the new phone, but old ones obviously can't do it, even though they probably can. Okay, so then we've got the wide colour display. So this is pretty similar to the iPad Pro again, isn't it? Like the idea of like the colour technology, like the way it like changes, according to the. This is obvious. This was going to happen, isn't it? Because it's like one of those features.
This is what we've written down. It says wide colour technology, wide colour displays. This doesn't actually mention True Tone display, which is the fact it changes. But I would assume it would also have True Tone display, like the latest iPad Pros, right?
So so what's the difference with the wide color technology then?
I think it's just got a high color gamut, which is what a lot of TVs have. A lot of 2016 TVs have got. It might be that, but who knows? I would imagine it also has to include the True Tone display, but it doesn't actually mention it in this one of these rumours we've got listed down here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we've got an upgraded rear camera flash. So this is obviously for low-level lighting, isn't it? So that you can take better pictures. I don't know, that's a given.
Yeah. Well, whatever, yeah.
But the next one I think is quite interesting. It's this possible upgraded proximity sensor. So this is like shifting from the LED to laser. So it's like faster response and greater recognition. And it says here, potential gesture recognition. Are we going to be turning pages like on those Galaxy phones? With a finger.
God. Yeah, because on those you can hover over the phone, can't you? And
and then pretend you're turning the page. I'm sure lots of people do that every day.
I'm sure people are constantly hovering over their phones to change pages whilst reading Kindle or on their Samsung. This does not bother me at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Awesome proximity sensor. I could not be less bothered about that.
I know, the next one I really don't care about either, which is just the NFC support for models sold in Japan. Does anyone care?
I don't know why I added that in, but that's for our Japanese listeners. Yeah. Do not care. Very
exciting, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's pretty much what we've got, I think, for the phone. I mean, when do we think this is coming out? What's the
the going rumour, obviously, the conference is Wednesday 7th. The going rumour is that pre-orders will start, at least in the UK, I would presume worldwide, or in select countries, on Friday the 9th, with the phone actually being on sale on the 16th. I guess that could also be the 23rd, but the going rumour is pre-orders on the 9th, out on the 16th, which I guess would tie in. Well, obviously, all the previous years have all gone around that date. So hopefully 2 days after the show we can start pre-ordering at Apple stores.
Are you going to get one, Matt?
Of course I am.
This is a definite that you're definitely going to get one.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm gonna, pretty much. I'm gonna get mine from O2, which is a mobile provider in the UK if you're listening from abroad. So I'll probably pre-order. I mean, their pre-orders won't go on sale for like another week or so, I bet, because they're usually pretty close to the actual release date. But I think I'm going to get one. I typically, normally at this stage, I actually already sold my phone to pay for the new one. But this year I'm going to just buy the new one, then sell my current / old model, and then So I'm going to do that instead.
I mean, all of this points though towards. I mean, all of the stuff that we've just gone through, it kind of points to this being like really much more like evolutionary. It's really like evolutionary, all this stuff.
Yeah, and everything's been saved for next year. Next year is the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. I think that's rumoured to have huge changes. It will have potentially no home button. It'll be potentially an OLED panel, potentially curved panel, potentially glass glass chassis.
Mm-hmm.
I think next year is going to be huge. And I think a lot of things they've doing this year is for next year. They're removing the headphone port, so next year's phone can be better and thinner, and it can maybe have wireless charging technology there. So maybe next year there won't even be a lightning port. Who knows? They're changing.
Or maybe the headphone port will return. Because
that would be also be incredible.
We've listened to our customers and we decided, it's back by popular demand.
I would love that, but that also the changing of the home button to the change on the home button this year could also move. I hope for next year we'll actually potentially going to remove it entirely, and it'll just be a 3D touch sensor. Somewhere on the bottom half of the screen to as a home button. So I think a lot of these changes this year will be actually it's just set up for next year's phone.
Okay, one last question I got for you for this though. What about the naming? Is this going to be called the 7, or is it going to? I mean, I was listening to Upgrade the other day, and they were talking about how maybe it could just become iPhone. An iPhone Plus.
Yeah, that's a great episode of Upgrade. If anyone hasn't listened to it, Mike Hurley and Jason Snell this week's is brilliant. They do their pick for like the rumours and stuff. No, I got to totally disagree with Mike Hurley on that show. I actually think next year it was when they're going to rename it iPhone. I think this year, it will be iPhone 7, but I think next year it will just be iPhone. I think next year it's a perfect time next year. It's the 10th anniversary. They'll bring it back to how it began next year, or I think pretty much I have to believe next year it will be renamed iPhone. This year I think I'll call it iPhone 7, and it is what it is, although it really does feel like much more of like a evolutionary upgrade, albeit with some controversial changes. Mm-hmm. I think they'll probably just call it 7 just to make it simple for people. What do you think?
I don't know. I think because of the fact that these phones are becoming more and more sort of evolutionary, it makes sense for them to be named this way, to become just like iPhone instead, instead of like because giving it a number really does indicate that it's like a big jump, between one and the other. So I don't know, I could see them doing it, but I know you're kind of convincing me with this, because they may do it next year as like a 10th anniversary thing. It's like, this is the
Yeah. I think next year is a perfect time to change that stuff. But who knows? I didn't actually ask, are you going to get one of these phones or what?
No, it's no way that's going to happen. Because like my phone is, I don't have a phone on contract. It's just bought. And so in some ways that's quite good, because that means if I sell it, then it's like it's already unlocked, and it's it's kind of good for that. But then also, I don't know, I can't at the moment, especially after this like Sony madness. Yeah, I can't afford anything at all. Like if I go to my wife and say, yeah, I'm buying a new iPhone, it won't go down well at all. It will be bad.
My wife's not happy about this. I've got money for a laptop, so she understands that. But this and PSVR, and she's not happy. But it is what it is. I mean, we're going to come on to the watch in a minute. I've said I'm probably not going to get an Apple Watch 2 though.
Mm-hmm. No, you see, I'm not either. I don't think. Okay, let's have a look at the rumours we've got here. So first of all, most people seem to think it's going to be a very similar design to the existing watch. That seems to be sort of nailed on. Maybe just a bit thinner.
But it's also good for me, because that means I'm probably less likely to buy it. Yeah, the rumour is basically it's all going to be about internal changes, and externally it will look very much the same as the current one. I mean, the current one I've got on my wrist now, it's chunky, I would say, but it's not offensively so. Obviously there are loads of much thinner watches out there, like incredibly thinner watches, and lighter probably. But I don't know. I don't think. I mean, it obviously will change, and lighter, thinner watch will be better. But for me, it's not a deal breaker. So the fact that they're not changing it isn't, it's not hugely surprising, because there's just a lot of internal changes that need to be made first before they can maybe start focusing on making it thinner and lighter. What do you think about the potentially having the same design as the current model?
I think it's likely, because obviously I think they're going to want to keep the bands around as well. That's not going to change, because they've clearly put. I mean, every time they have an event, there's new bands. There's new things. I don't think they're going to want to change that. I think it will be the same. I don't think it's going to change. I mean, internally, the main thing is, is GPS. They reckon it's going to be put into it. maybe faster processor. The stuff on the camera has gone very quiet, hasn't it? There was always these rumours it was going to have a camera.
Yeah,
but
the rumoured FaceTime camera, yeah.
But I still don't understand the point of that anyway. Like, what's the point? I mean, I don't know. I just don't think it would work like that well. What do you think?
No, I mean, back when this first came out, I thought, it maybe can work. You can have a little FaceTime calls, but now, since having it since launch, I've realised that you don't really want to be having your wrist up for more than like 4 seconds without feeling stupid. So, no, I don't. I think it'll probably come at some point, but I don't. Right now, it's not something I want, and I don't know how it's really going to work well.
Yeah.
Going back to GPS. GPS was, when this first came out and it didn't have GPS, that was one of the first things I thought, oh man, next one GPS is going to be amazing. Because I thought, I'll be running and I won't need my phone to track my run. I can just go out with my watch. But, I know that I have my phone with me for music. Yes, I know I can sync playlists to the watch and go about that, but I don't do that. But also just, I feel like with any sort of activity, I just want my phone on me in case I fall over and have an accident or need to ring someone. Or so I'm going to have my phone on me regardless, I think. So the whole GPS thing, it doesn't really bother me like I thought it would once. Like I didn't once upon a time I thought that'd be a really, really big thing for me, but now I realise my phone will be with me, so GPS is not really a game changer for me.
Yeah, see, I completely agree with you about this, because this is something I was thinking about with this, because like whenever I go out, like, if I go out with just the watch or whatever, I'm always thinking, if someone needs to contact me, like if, there's something happened at home or something like that, that's the reason I have my phone. Actually, it's not for the GPS or anything, it's mostly for contact. I mean, that's why it's a shame that the rumours about it having, like, cellular connectivity seem to have been sort of scotched.
Yeah, I reckon that'll probably be next year. This year will be. This is like the S model. I mean, although potentially this could be, we'll probably come on to like how often we're going to upgrade them later. But maybe we might see the same design for a couple of years, and then maybe cellular will be here in a couple of years' time. But so no cellular. Obviously, the big thing is the bigger battery, which is good. I'm happy charging it every night. I sort of feel like with battery, for me, you either have to have it as it is currently, where you charge every day, or you don't charge it for like a month. Because I feel like in between, I would probably be way more likely to forget to charge it. If it was like a 4-day battery life, I know I wouldn't charge every night, and suddenly I'll be caught out. I know I would. Well, whereas right now, when I go to bed, I'll charge my phone and my watch, and that's it. I'm sorted. It doesn't bother me. But if I had a 4, 5, or 7-day battery life, I would not charge every night, because why would you? It last a week, and suddenly be like, oh shit, hang on, my battery's go now. Well, what do you think about that? The whole charging every night versus every other day or every few days?
Again, doesn't bother me really. I mean, most days. I mean, if I look at my watch now, I've still got about 30% left. I think it's it doesn't really. I've got 48% left, and I have actually used it today. I've used it for like Twitter and stuff like that, and some other stuff.
I can't believe you use Twitter on your watch. So
I do.
This is using the default app, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, the official Twitter app.
Yeah, and it works fine. It really works not bad at all. I mean, this is why I'm excited for WatchOS 3, because hopefully it's going to be even faster at like loading. Which would be
so. Also,
be nice.
I've got the official app installed, but I'm a Tweetbot user, so I really have to use that when someone sends me a link to a GIF and it has to load in the official app, but whatever. So do you? So can you can see the whole timeline? You obviously can't reply, but you can. Or can you reply?
Yeah, I think you can reply. I've never done it.
Do you mostly use it just for scrolling and for favoriting and retweeting and stuff?
It's for that, and also trends and stuff like that. You can see. I mean, just mostly just for the timeline. It's just nice to be able to like glance down at my watch and see what's happening, rather than having to get my phone out.
Do you have that in the glance?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Because obviously glances are going away, aren't they? In WatchOS 3, so. But
that won't matter, because it's like, you can reply. It uses the whole, the voice thing. But that won't matter, will it? Because you can just press the button and then it will be there instantly anyway. Yeah. That's the whole point.
I might give it a go, but So bigger battery, that'd be good, but it's not really a huge thing for me. But the rumour is it's going to be potentially like a 35% larger battery, which would be good.
And then, I mean, see, one of the things you've got down here, which I think is very likely, is the keeping the sport model and reducing the price, because they've already been reducing the price like over the last like 6 months or so, and I reckon.
So how much is it? £300 now currently for the small sport model.
No, I'm sure it's cheaper than that. I'm sure it's not, because that's about what I paid, and that was before there was a price cut. It's I'm sure it's cheaper, but I mean either way, I think it'll probably be sub £200 for like a sport. I think they'll do something like that.
Yeah, I feel like I have to, and I feel like keeping the existing one but having that super cheap is what I need. I mean, I don't know how much Fitbits are, but obviously Fitbits are way cheaper than this. But to have this is like imagine if this was 150, like if it'd be flying off shelves.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a look. I mean, currently it's like 259 for like a 38mm. So if they cut that to like, I mean, they could. I think
if it's 199.
Yeah, exactly. If they cut that to 199, that's really not so bad at all.
Yeah, that's not really. Yeah, I was actually thinking. So currently, I've got the Apple Watch. It's just got the naming is rubbish. I need to change it. But I've currently got the Apple Watch as opposed to the Apple Watch Sport.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking if the Apple Watch 2 is brilliant, I was potentially maybe going to sell this and get like the Sport model, because maybe there wouldn't be such a huge like difference in what I've sold this one for versus buying a Sport model. But I don't think I'll bother unless they pull something out of the bag, which is amazing. I think the biggest upgrade in all this is actually WatchOS 3, and that's going to come to all devices. So
yeah,
I'm actually really looking forward to that more than a new Apple Watch itself.
I mean, all the rumours do point to sort of more of a refinement rather than anything like major.
Yeah. So again, like things like faster processor, waterproofing. I mean, yeah, all good. But right now it's the OS that's slow. So WatchOS 3 might be a huge upgrade regardless. And then if this watch, it makes it slightly faster, great. But I don't think that's really enough for me to upgrade. So all those things, better waterproofing, faster processor, GPS, it's not really a huge thing for me to upgrade. But what is it going to take for you to suddenly massively want the next Apple Watch? Is there anything right now they can do?
The only thing they can do for me is seriously like podcasting. That's what I want. I just want that on the watch.
Well, you want a podcast app?
Yeah, I want a podcast app. If they give me that, then that would make me buy a new one. I'd love that. I've talked about it so many times before.
It's not a podcast app. It's the ability to say podcast locally, isn't it?
Yeah, either that or, I mean, a full podcast app would be even better, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, just the ability to be able to like say podcasts to my watch would be nice. That's yeah.
I use Overcast, and there is a podcast app, but you can't say things locally. But I think isn't that a restriction with WatchOS itself?
I don't know, because I mean, I don't see why it can't do it, because how much storage has it got? Is it like about 8 gig? Or is it 5?
8 gig. I know like the music's limited to 1 or 2 gig. If you like
it's more
sync
than
a
that.
playlist.
It's about 5 gig you get from it, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
There's definitely like there's a reasonable amount of internal storage for like podcasts or whatever. And I mean, you can do it because you can do it using like the music app, but it's just awful to even try doing it. It's just a horrible workaround to do it. It's just, I don't know, I think it's mostly because Apple don't really care about podcasts that much, do they? I mean, it's not a big deal. No. They're all out, doing their fitness, listening to music.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not actually sure what I want or what they could show that suddenly makes me think, oh my god, I need to get that new Apple Watch. But I have that's up to Apple to try and find something for me to that actually makes me want to buy a new watch. But right now, I guess we'll see. But I'm not terribly excited about the platform or where it's going.
What WatchOS 3 made me more interested because it does look like a genuine sort of reworking that looks good.
I'm really interested to see that. Yeah, more than any new hardware at all, really.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that. When that drops in the next few weeks, isn't it? Either next month or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excited.
So that's the watch. I mean, then we got Mac, but I don't think we both don't think that's going to happen, do we?
No, that's the rumor is that they were basically there'll be a separate event in October, and that's hopefully when we'll maybe see new MacBook Pros. Maybe one more recent rumors is that the MacBook Air isn't dead, and they will release a USB-C version of the MacBook Air. Mac Mini, Mac Pro, they're both. I mean, there's been no rumours and nothing, so God knows what's going to happen to them. iMac, again, nothing. The more interesting rumours are LG are allegedly or rumoured to be making a 5K display, which would be interesting.
Okay.
as opposed to, I guess, the Apple Cinema display and all that sort of stuff, there'd be like an LG. Would it be LG branded, or would LG just actually make the panel?
I'm sure they'll just make the panel. It'll be like the cinema display, they had before.
I guess so, yeah. But yeah, like an LG manufactured 5K display, which would be nice to see. But I guess we'll see. But I mean, obviously, everyone is just waiting for the MacBook Pros. So interested to see what happens with them if that LCD, if that OLED display bar thing is actually reality or not, and if Touch ID comes to the system, who knows? But I guess we'll have more to say on that in October, hopefully, if Apple ever release a new laptop ever again.
So how about the software? Do you think they're going to show much of it at all or not? Because I don't think they will. I think they're just going to show some features that differentiate the new model of the iPhone. I think that'll be it. I don't think we'll see anything about tvOS or even like macOS either. I think we'll get release dates for them, which, going by last time, they should be. Usually, it's a couple of days ahead of the iPhone launch, isn't it? It comes out.
Yeah. So if it comes out on the 16th, it'll be, say, around the 14th or so, which would be it's not long at all. I mean, tvOS, no, I don't think we'll see anything about that at all. I reckon they'll probably do like the 10 points on each of them. So I think they'll probably do like 10 points on iOS 10, maybe some exclusive features if there are any. I don't think there will be, but maybe. WatchOS, they'll obviously go through that alongside new hardware, and Sierra, macOS Sierra, they'll obviously do that. But I don't think it'll be a huge amount, because this is primarily the hardware show versus the WWDC's software orientated show.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. If there are no, we haven't mentioned iPad, but the other rumour of iPad is that will be potentially they're going to potentially move the refresh cycle for that until, say, like March time, and that's also when they're apparently going to make the next big point release of iOS 10. In this case, that's going to include lots of awesome iPad features. So as opposed to when new iOS 10, 11, etc., 12 drops around September time, and that's going to be for every platform, they're going to build in a lot of the really exciting iPad features into 10.5 or 11.5 and or whatever comes out around March time. So it's interesting to see if they are going to make huge changes that's going to be much more iPad Pro driven for the next big point release in March. But the rumours, no iPad stuff really for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be good if they went to these sort of smaller, more focused events, but more often maybe, based on each device they've got. Because that massive one last year was chronic, wasn't it? I mean, it was so long. There was so much information.
This year, they're going to release an iPhone which is the same chassis, but it's got no headphone port and a couple of other incremental differences. Mm-hmm. An Apple Watch which is the same, but it's got a slightly bigger battery. I mean, this is not a huge show. And then, last year's was arguably too long, and it had Apple Music as well, didn't it? Which went on forever.
Mm-hmm.
This year, there's also the rumour they're going to show off the redesigned Apple Music, so they might show that off there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon it's going to be any huge surprises?
Well, we'll come to that, because I've got some ideas for that. So actually, do you want to move on to some predictions? Because we were going to do a sort of one safe and two others that are maybe not so safe. So go on, give me your safe one first. What do you think?
Okay, my safe rumour is that they'll bundle wide lightning headphones with each iPhone, which is boring, but they'll probably do it.
Yeah, that's pretty safe. Yeah. I'm going to say that we're not going to see anything at all related to the Mac at this event. There's going to be nothing.
I would love it if that wasn't the case. And part of me thinks, hang on, there's not much here to be shown, but there's space on him to show off the Macs, but...
No.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
I'm not going to do that. Okay, so give me your first risky one. What do you think?
I mean, it's clear they are differentiating the Plus, but I think there'll be a really big exclusive feature for the Plus that they haven't unveiled yet, software-wise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what, but I think they're going to position it much more like the iPad Pro.
Okay. I've got something a bit similar, but a bit more specific. I think that we're going to see. I reckon that Chair Entertainment are going to be on the stage, unveiling maybe a new Infinity Blade or something to show off the power of this new CPU. I think they're going to do that.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Like that's every time they show off a new Infinity Blade.
They don't. They finished the trilogy ages ago. And also, I was having a look on their website, and they don't seem to have a lot going on at the moment. And it could be because they're building something with this. I mean, don't you remember they showed...
It's not them. There's always a game developer, isn't it? Or was that WWDC?
No, they usually show something. They usually bore us, don't they, with something to do with like something terrible. But I don't know. I think they'll show something because they had that. Do you remember there was that cancelled Infinity Blade game as well that they had that was going to be for iPad? It was
I don't remember that.
It was kind of like a strategy game, and it got canned. But I reckon they'll be. I think they're going to be there to like show something new for this.
Right.
Okay. What's your next one?
Well, I've got a couple really, but it was one of them was I actually think they are going to name the Plus the Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to try and have like iPhone or iPhone Pro, and then that's why they're going to, it's more expensive. It's a bigger screen. It's got like exclusive colors. I think they're going to push it more to the Pro, and it will make sense. iPad Pro, iPhone Pro. So I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
I had a much more backy one, but it's not going to happen. So
go on. Go on. Just what was that?
The other one was that they'll show off some VR stuff.
Okay. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, my last one is. Do you know what I think they're going to do? I think there's going to be just one more thing, and I reckon it's going to be TV related, and it's going to be something that they're going to just say is coming soon. It's going to be something to do with the TV. That's what I think.
What, like hardware, software, deals, what?
I think it's going to be deals or something like that. I think we're going to see something like that.
What, they're going to say...
We've bought Netflix or something like that.
Like a subscription package, like a TV subscription package.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give a lot of detail, but I think there's going to be something which they're going to say is significant that they've done, that's related to this.
Oh, no, I don't think they'll say, hey, we signed a deal, that's it, come back in 6 months' time.
I don't think they'll say that necessarily, but I think that they'll hint that there's something like big coming very soon, that's like related to the TV.
Maybe. I mean, it's a good shout as any. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a good shout as any.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so that's about that. But we've got just two more things to just have a quick look at before we wrap this up. First of all, we did have the question of the week from last week. Have you thought about this, Matt, at all?
Oh, yeah, of course I have, yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's good. So last week we talked about what mobile app couldn't you live without, apart from obviously the core ones that everyone uses all the time. So what did you have?
Well, I mean, there's tons of apps which I probably couldn't live without. Tweetbot, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, etc. But I'm actually going to go with the Sheets version of Google Drive.
Right.
Because I basically use that every single day for everything, for like calculating, looking at like the money I'll spend, to make sure I'm not, getting me and my wife into outrageous amounts of debt. Updating that every year, every day, other like little notes and stuff. I'm always like working out sums for this, that, and the other. So yeah, I think I'd be in serious trouble if I didn't have that. I'm still a bit upset that they split out the Google Drive app into like a Docs app and to a Sheets app. But
why? It was awful. It was a bit of a mess.
Good, yeah, but no. But it's just, why can I have it all? I don't understand what's the benefit of splitting them out into separate apps.
It's cleaner. It's like you just open it and it's one thing rather than have to go through multiple menus.
Yeah, I guess, but then I asked about, but currently I open the Sheets app and it's got my Sheets are there. I could search one that's not in like the top list, and as if I was in a Drive app, I could just search for a document and I'll find it and I'll open it. And I don't see why there's a huge difference really.
Yeah, I've never used Sheets because just everything's Excel here. it's always like that.
Well, what do you do on your phone if you need to look at like spreadsheets and stuff then?
Excel.
Oh, well, see, I use Office for iPhone.
Yeah, because I've got like Office 365, so yeah, it has like Word, Excel.
I hate using Excel. I have to use it for work. Well, I try to use most things in like Google Sheets, but if you've got some mad pivot tables and some pretty extreme spreadsheets, you've got to go Excel, and I hate it.
This is the thing, because like my wife, like she uses like her job before, like she was in like logistics and everything, and she just used Excel all the time. I tried to get her to use numbers, and I also tried to get her to use like Google Sheets as well, and both of them she just said no, these are rubbish, because she just said they don't have the functions that like that Excel still has. They're still not powerful enough.
They're not as powerful, but they're still good. But yeah, I'll be in serious trouble if I didn't have Google Sheets on my phone. That's on my home screen. That's how much I use it.
Is it on your first page?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Man, okay.
Yeah, it's just below YouTube and just next to Strava, my running app.
Okay, the one I've got is you almost certainly have not heard of this. It's called Be Focused Pro. Have you heard of this?
No. What? No.
Okay, this is formerly known as Pomodoro Pro. Now, are you aware of Pomodoro? Like what this is?
Pomodoro rings a bell, but I've no idea what it is.
Okay, so basically what this is like a time management like app that aids with like focus for like work. Because sometimes, I spend a lot of time reading often books which are really, really old and not very interesting. And so what this is the Pomodoro technique is this idea that you split like the work into 4 periods. And then each time you have like 25 minutes that you work like intensively, like, you know, just on that thing with no distractions. Like you just only focus on this, and you do it for like 25 minutes. Then you have like a 5-minute break, and then you do another 25 minutes, and you do like 4 of those, and then you get like a 20-minute break, and then you like do it like that. The whole point being is that like during the 25 minutes, you're like really super focused on what you're doing, and like, you know, sort of avoid everything else. And I found it to be one of the only ways that I can get like significant amounts of work done is using this. It's really helpful.
Yeah, that sounds great. I have actually heard about that. I didn't know it's called that, but I've heard about doing that sort of thing before, yeah. What's the app called?
Well, it's called Be Focused Pro, because they changed it, because it was called Pomodoro Pro, but then they changed it to Be Focused Pro. I don't know, maybe they got sued by Mr. Pomodoro or something like that. But it's good because it works on like watch, phone, and also Mac, and it like syncs between all of them. So if you're like using it on Mac, and like, because what you can do is you can set like a goal for how many you want to achieve in a day, like how many like sessions you want to do, and then if you like do some on your Mac, then you can then just go back and then do the rest on your phone or whatever. You know, it's good.
So how does it work? Like, how is it tracking you? Do you have to like hit start, and then it notifies you?
You basically like hit start, and then it begins, and then after 25 minutes, like an alarm rings to say, okay, you can have a break now. You know, this is kind of the way.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
It works pretty well, and also, I mean, you can set like tasks as well and stuff like that. Like you can use it as like a task list as well, and then say I want to use this time for this. It's just, I know, I just found it very useful for managing time. It's rather than just, you know, I mean, you get the thing where you just start like browsing the internet and you don't get anything done. Whereas this is like, this is much a good way to focus. What I tend
to do at work if I need to be particularly focused is, one, I put my phone away. And I put my watch on to do not disturb, but also I basically try and work, but I'm allowed like 5 to the hour, whereas I can go on the internet and do stuff, and then I'm back to working for the other 55 minutes. But it's quite tough to spend that long being focused. So this sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, it works well because the 25. I mean, you can also change the increments, like how much it's going to be. But I found like 25 minutes is about the sweet spot of, like, you know, you work, really concentrate for that amount of time and then stop. And then you can, then you start again. It feels more manageable. You know, I mean, basically means you're doing like you're doing 50 minutes in an hour rather than like full hour. But I don't know, I just found that it does end up with doing a lot more, a lot more work.
Yeah, it sounds good. I might do this actually. Yeah, actually, I'm looking at the app now, the Be Focused Pro on the App Store, and it's got pictures of tomatoes, because isn't it Pomodoro Tomato?
Yes. Yeah,
yes. Okay, I have looked into this. Yeah. I'm going to download this app. It sounds really good.
It totally works, honestly, and it's like if you can stick to it, it really especially, I mean, setting the goals is really helpful as well, like for how much you want to achieve like every day. It's useful, and then you get like reports of like, you know, you can look and see like how productive you were like over a period of time, and it's kind of crazy.
Awesome, I'm gonna do that. Well, next time you ask me that question, maybe my app will also be the same one as yours.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so I've got one more for next week though.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is my question for this week. So, what piece of dead software or hardware would you bring back, like if you could?
Oh god, I've got an answer already. But yeah,
okay, but it can't. Okay, but it can't be video game related.
Oh, I've got a great one. Oh, it can't be video game related.
No, okay. That's too easy. It's too easy to do that. It's got to be something.
So many beautiful consoles I'll bring back from the dead in a second.
Jaguar, I
was thinking Saturn or Dreamcast, but okay.
I was thinking Winamp, but with all the skins and stuff.
Oh, okay. This is a great question. Yeah. So, what piece of dead software / hardware would I bring back? So if you want to answer this week's question of the week, you can tweet us at InterfacePod on Twitter or email interfacepodcast@gmail.com. We're also on iTunes and on Pocket Cast. We're on loads of other podcast services, so leave us a review there if you fancy it. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. New episodes go up on YouTube every week or every time we release a show. To see full show notes for this episode, go to interfacepodcast.squarespace.com/12. We're going to be back next week with another episode, basically reviewing what happened on Wednesday's conference, so be sure to come back for that. I'm excited for Wednesday, even though if you look at what's rumoured, it's not terribly exciting. I just can't wait to see what they say and how they say it, really.
It's all about the headphone jack. I just
all
want to
about
see
the
what
lack
they
of
do.
headphone jack. Everyone hold on to your iPhones now and just kiss that headphone jack goodbye, because this time next week it'll be over.
You know what's going to be funny about that as well, don't you? Is it's like there's going to be loads of people that will be all like, oh, you know, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to switch to Android. You know that all the Android phones are going to do the same thing. They're all going to be like,
start doing it. Like the Moto Z's already done it, and like an LG phone's already done it.
Yeah, Lenovo had like headphoneless headphone jack.
Actually, I was thinking, like, do you think this iPhone I've got now, the 6S Plus, it'd be worth more money if I don't sell it for a bit and sell it later because it's got a headphone jack?
It might be.
It'd be like, oh, rare headphone jack.
You got to do rare with like the @ sign.
Yeah,
and,
definitely. Yeah, I've got to have like a look as well, and like, you know, what sort of. Yeah, so thanks everyone for listening, and we'll be back next week with what happened at Apple's conference and all that sort of stuff. So thanks a lot, James.
Thank you, Matt.
Bye.